Hey, it's Tim, Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk, and we're the family. We are taking a road trip in the Ford F-150 Lightning, because why not? We are going down to a wedding down in Parker, Colorado. We're going to take this truck down there. There's going to be some interesting times we're going to have to charge on the way back, because we got to go through Sydney. It's 280 miles of loop. We should be, I think it was 215 miles to the hotel. We'll get information on that, but I fully charged the vehicle last night. 262 miles of range. You may remember I did a 220 video and it said 257 miles of range. And this is really, like I said, based on right here, how much you run the AC, how much you run stuff. Just turn off for a moment. And how your driving is. So if you don't do burnout stuff like that, you're not gonna have a problem. But I wanted to go here and I wanted to go to navigation. I want to see what it says. And so we are going to where to. Holiday Inn Express in Parker? Mm-hmm. Holiday Inn Express. Parker.
That's it.
Okay, so that's 167 miles away. So we should make that no problem. It's going to calculate our charging not required. We should have 15% by the time we get there, is what it's saying. 221 miles, actually, what it's saying now. So it's 73 degrees. We're probably going to run the AC because it's getting hot in here right now. And our plan is actually stop over here in Fort Morgan. There's a charge port there, or charge point there. I want to try to test that out because on the way back, we have to stop and charge. We don't have a choice because the distance is 281 miles back to the house. So 75 degrees today, or 80 degrees right now, actually temperature even nicer. We're going to Colorado, so we're going uphill a couple thousand feet. We're doing about 70 miles an hour, so 55 to 70 in that range. So let's see if we can make it. My first EV road trip. Woohoo! Okay, here we are. We're in Kimball, again the I-80 intersection. I don't want to take that route. I don't want to go that way. I want to go down to Fort Morgan. I'm gonna see what it does when it calculates. It did tell us we couldn't make the way all the way down because we had lost so much range. We're at 191 miles now, and we had been started at 250, 260. We've done about 45 miles and lost a bunch of range because it's uphill and it's 30 miles an hour. It's real world situation. So let's see what's happening. Now it's saying trip overview, arrival 117 if we take that route. And does it say charging? It didn't say charging, did it?
It didn't say charging, but it says it's only 167, so because we took a different route.
The charger must be further away, so it must want us to go to that charger still. So it did say 10 minutes at that charger. We're gonna go this way because we're gonna stop at that charger in Fort Morgan anyways.
Yeah, but over there, it's actually subtracting it for you.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see it with the glare.
So the 189 is how much charge we have. The 167 is our distance to the hotel.
Yep.
So then that's 80.
That's 80% how much battery power we have now. I don't know. We may have to click on that to figure out how much battery power we're gonna have when we get there. But we're gonna stop anyways. I want to stop, check out the supercharger anyways, and give me a little more peace of mind on the way back. Because the way back we're going through Sydney, which is even a longer trip. Okay, this is the trip summary. We're here at Electrify America at a Walmart. We're gonna plug in and get some more charge because when I turn it on, you can see we have 116 miles of range, 96 miles hotel. Interestingly, what happened was we changed the route on that map you saw, and it actually got us to the hotel without having to charge this time. However, I want to try the public charging because I've never done it before, and on the way back I know we have to use public charging because we need a little more range. So let's just see what happens. Okay, that was stupid simple. So let me show you what's going on here. It said plug in first, so I plugged it in, and there's a little tab here. I'll show you this in a minute. This tab comes out, so I have the full CCS 350 kilowatt hour charging going on. It connected, it said processing payment, and it's doing it. Welcome driver Ford plan, 250 kilowatt charging or per mile equivalent. 250 charging will continue at current Electrify American pricing. So it's currently charging. It says the session fee. I don't know if you can see it. It's really bright out here. So it says $0 fee, 43 cents per kilowatt hour is charging up. So I'm gonna go hit the bathroom and get my lunch from Walmart. We'll hit the deli and come back out here and we'll see how much it's adding. But right now it's charging. Strange. And then there's your details there. So it's not 52%, 121 miles of range. And again, I'm just gonna turn it off. It is 1204. So 1204, and I'm going inside. Okay, back of the truck. Let's see what it says.
Back of the truck.
It says we have 90% charge, and it's 12:39. So we went inside and had some Subway.
1 hour.
And we were there half an hour, and it added 40% more range in a half an hour. So what do we have? 112 when we came in, so we gained over 100 and some miles just by having lunch. Interesting. Okay, sorry about that. I got caught outside by some fans. They're walking that way. I got future fans. They wanted to ask a bunch of questions, so we talked for a little bit. So I added, it was $23 worth of charging, and we added 50% or 40% of the range.
So about 100 and some miles.
So about 100 and some miles. So that's what it cost so far. And so let's, we're gonna keep going on our road trip and see if the hotel's got charging. If not, tomorrow morning I'll probably have to charge up in Denver for a little bit when we leave Parker, and I'll probably have to stop here again tomorrow. And so, I don't know, I'm looking at probably a half an hour longer on the road trip than I normally would, but we stopped and had lunch, so it's kind of a wash. I don't know about you, but I would have lunch anyways.
We were outside chatting for 12 minutes.
Okay, it's time to go. Okay, here we go. Got the hotel. 116 miles of range left. 51% battery, and we're gonna go ahead and change our clothes to the wedding and find a supercharger and get some more juice, I think, just to make sure we're okay. Got plenty of mileage. Okay, another quick update. We pulled over, we got 51% of range left. Let me show that to you.
Let's go get snacks.
We will, just a second, please. Apparently we're hungry for some snacks. So, yeah, 51%. And then I plugged into Electrify America. And this is 150 kilowatts of charging, not 350, but it's same price point, 41 cents. Oh, you can see current charge dispense. So, yeah, okay. So we're gonna get some snacks and eat those snacks while this charges for a little while. Not trying to get it fully charged, just trying to get a little more range. Just, you know, the wedding's about half an hour away, so about 60 miles. I had enough range to get there. Just, I'm gonna top it off a little bit while we're here. All right, in that period of time, we added, I don't know, 20 some miles of range. If we sat here all day, let me get the clock right. So 20 miles of range or so in the short time we were gone. It is now 3:22. We're only in there for about 20 minutes. And fast charging be done 90% in 20 minutes we sat here. So we're gonna roll. Okay. Let's get this out of there. These things are heavy. Okay, and then, sorry, good driver, you charge 20 minutes, 39 kilowatt hours, $18 in charging fees. Okay, interesting. Here we are, DC fast charging in the morning. So I'm gonna see what the range added. So right now we have 215 miles of range. Yes, Funk's the jar too. And then we're fast charging. Over here, we're at 88%. I'll unplug here in a minute and we'll see what we got. But currently we spent about $20 for fast charging. And then we went from 50 to 80%. So I added over 100 miles of range or so. So 100 miles of range, 20 bucks a mile, $20 for 100 miles of range. It's not cheap. That's the biggest key from public charging. It's sort of convenient. We stopped at Walmart. I got a new jacket, got a few things, got a birthday card. But it's expensive to charge. And then today, like, we have to be up north by 1 o'clock, so we got all day and we get by home. So we're only a couple hours away, so taking our time, not a big deal. But yeah, that's the status. We're gonna make one more stop, go to Fort Morgan. We're gonna plug in for lunch to have enough charge to make sure we got home. Okay, quick update from the road. I'm using hands-free system. So when that goes up there and the speed limit goes to right, it's hands-free. When the speed limit goes, or the speed I'm going goes left, I'm not. It took me a while to figure that one out. We got 25 miles to the Walmart, and we have about 142 miles of range left. And we're gonna stop and charge for a little while because we figured out it's 150 miles, something like that, 60,
160.
60, something like that. So we're gonna stop and charge for a little bit, just make sure we have plenty of range. It's kind of windy and cold today. And then I'm gonna let her drive, and we'll see what she thinks about behind the wheel of the Lightning.
See.
But yeah, so we're just kind of cruising, and yeah, that's the update. Okay, gonna charge up here. We have 117 miles, 51%. Get a couple things at Walmart, and make sure we have enough range to get home. Then she can drive, which we need extra range for Leadfoot over there.
I can't wait. I can't wait. Okay. I promise I won't get us any not parking tickets, but speeding tickets. I'll try my best.
Okay, getting ready to go. Got another $20 worth of charging, which, let me check my phone. I forget how the kilowatt hours would be. But I thought it'd be interesting to let the wife drive and get her viewpoint on the Ford Lightning. We added 30 minutes of charge, 50.86 kilowatt hours. So what's our range now?
I don't know, but it says charging station fault. See manual.
Okay, hit okay. Yeah. When I grabbed it out, I think it didn't quite work right, but just a weird random error. So 216 miles, 87% charge. So we should be ready to go.
I'm gonna get the address.
With extra charge. Oh yeah. Yeah, it is. Okay, 84 miles to there. It says we should not need charging. We should be at 46% by the time I get there. And then we should be able to make the rest of the drive home.
I sure hope.
Here we go.
Obey traffic laws. Be alert and use voice commands while driving.
It takes off a little easier than the Tundra. It's like the Tundra jerks you back. This doesn't have a jerk back.
No, and this, it feels like the brake is on sometimes. You just gotta hit that low acceleration. It overrides with that whatever and just goes. I'm gonna turn down this heat. So the temperature turned out to be a lot warmer than I thought it was gonna be. You said it drives easy?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean they made some changes. So we have independent rear suspension, which we typically don't use. They have a solid axle, so that we can put the dual motors on this truck. And yeah, suspension I find a little bit smoother riding for sure.
Oh, this bumblebee is sitting on the mirror. I hope he finds a smooth ride.
Later, Bumblebee.
Enjoy your trip to Nebraska, my friend. Oh, he left when he heard the word Nebraska. He's like, yeah, no, not happening today.
Okay, first time getting interstate on the on-ramp.
Make sure I know where cruise control is. Ooh, I like this.
It's got plenty of power, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, see the button down below. Up,
Got
up,
it.
Set. Okay.
Right there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now,
I like this
let's
a
see
lot.
what happens. BlueCruise comes up. You've never used BlueCruise, right? Okay.
How do I...
Watch. Look at the screen. It says it's hands-free now.
Oh, God.
Take your hands off. Take your hands off.
Oh, God. I don't know if I can do this.
It's a different experience. So you're using BlueCruise. It's a combination of lane departure, lane adaptive cruise, GPS, LiDAR. I mean, it's got everything in it. And actually, yeah. But I'm with her. I've done this a few times. It's a gigantic trust factor. And once you get past the trust factor, it's kind of nice. But, oh, is it a big trust factor?
Yeah, but I didn't realize how much it went between the two lines.
Yeah, I like GMC system a little bit better. It doesn't correct as often. This one corrects a little more than I like, but yeah.
Holy cow. Trying really hard not to cuss, people. Sorry. I know this is an adult channel, but I got kids in the back seat and other kids who watch, so I'm doing my best. Oh my gosh. I need to hold on to something. Mine's out of the gutter, people. Okay, I don't know how much longer I can handle how far it goes back and forth.
Okay. You can, at any point, you can put your hands on the wheel and you can adjust.
So I can put it like right where I want it and it'll stay there, or will it go back and forth?
like during the turn, like if you don't like how it's turning, you can guide the wheel and help it turn a little bit sharper when you want to, whatever. But yeah, these open stretches here. I mean, we have, we're driving I-76 northeast to Colorado. I mean, we got
heading into Nebraska.
We got open roads all the way to get to Sydney. So
my heart rate went from 88 miles or 88 beats per minute to 111. Now it's calming down. It's at 96, but still.
So you're
okay.
So now it's not active. So see that?
Yeah, I see how it flips.
Typically, when we go over a bridge, it seems like it flips. On the calm screen we have set up for the dash, it'll swap the BlueCruise with the mile per hour. When it does that, then you got to take control. Then when it switches back, then you let go.
Wow.
Deep breaths.
I'm squeezing my thumb.
So a few notes on this trip that we've noticed is, first, it's a mind flip. Like, you're looking at this stuff like navigation wise, you want to be there we'll be there at 2 o'clock or 2:16 p.m.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta ignore that, and what we look at instead is look at how many miles we have, because we're kind of just taking our time back home. So you can't get up like my brother gets up at 3:30 in the morning from Michigan, drives straight to our house, and is there by 5. That's not gonna happen with this. So that's not gonna happen with this. You cannot do that kind of fast driving, but you're taking your time and you're just kind of making a road trip out of it, making the adventure part of the road trip. It's back in the days of the Route 66, right? Route 66. You used to drive to enjoy. You used to take highway drives to enjoy the journey, not to make good time. And the same thing happened here.
But hands-free isn't like. I don't like that. Hands-free isn't standard with EVs though. So
no,
if we got me an EV SUV, it wouldn't necessarily have this hands-free, and where I drive, it's not guaranteed. It could be a huge hands-free blind spot.
It could be a waste of money for sure. I mean, a lot of EVs are starting to come with more and more BlueCruise technology and stuff, and SuperCruise, but not everyone. And so this is not something you absolutely have to have. We live far enough out of town that we really wouldn't work that often.
Yeah.
But it's it's interesting how it works though.
Yeah, it is.
And so immediately you freak out, then you get over the freak out, then you get some trust in certain sections, flat, straight, 2 lanes, and then you gotta, oh wow, look at that. So, yeah, and it's quiet, it's smooth, it's powerful, it does all those things a vehicle you'd want. Good road trip vehicle, really. And,
yeah, it is a great road trip vehicle.
Yeah, we've been using the front quite a bit for their luggage bin there, and we have some Chinese food left over in there. The interesting part was with Fort Morgan, we actually went to a Chinese place we'd never even gone to, because we would never have gone to that Chinese place. Because we'd just got fast food and just got gas and went, and that's how we've always traveled. And so in this vehicle, it changes the way you travel, it changes the way you mentality. So we had a nice, probably a healthier-ish meal versus like a fast food. And we got to sit down for a little bit, and I feel a lot more relaxed in this road trip than I normally do, because normally you're after it, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm gonna let her drive for a little bit, get her off camera so she can let it out.
Thank God.
All right, we'll follow up with you guys. Hopefully we get back home. Okay, here's the update for you. I want to get this before she gets in the truck, but mileage is currently 79 miles of range. We have dust blowing like crazy, and we have 61 miles to go. So I'm gonna have to drive super slow and basic hypermile this stuff, because I have a bit of range anxiety right now, like pretty good amount. We'll see what happens here with this wind. Not sure. Okay, here we go. Let's do the last kind of update on the road. I'm driving 55 and a 65 because I have 36 miles of range left and 20 miles to my destination. So what I decided to do was drive slower, and I'll tell you that reason for a minute, but on this map, it says 8% charged by the time we get home. Yeah, 8%. Okay, so let's talk a little more about this. I'm actually going to accelerate a little bit because we're only 19 miles from home, and I have I have more mileage than I thought. So I have 36 miles of range, 19 miles from home. This is where it's very much a trust factor with new EVs, in that you have to trust that mileage is right and know that you just back it off a little bit if you need more range. The Department of Energy says if you drive 10 miles an hour less, you actually do gain 14% of more energy. You actually save that energy. So we turned off the AC, we turned off the radio, stopped plugging in our devices, and just drove a little slower. That worked in this case. Now, we drove through a town called Bridgeport. It has a really nice gas station there. If they would put just some charging at the gas station, it would have been a no-brainer.
Right.
Would have been easy. But there's a few important things to keep in mind with this road trip. Is that, number one, we're pretty much classified as an edge case. And what I mean by that is we're an outlier of the EV mainstream going where it's going to go. Most people in suburban areas, cities, that's where it's going to go. So my wife has an app, and I pulled it up while we were at dinner last night, and it showed charging stations in Denver, and you couldn't even see Denver on the map. It had so many charging stations, it was insane. But from our way home, we only had the one in Fort Morgan we stopped at. So, we need more charging stations in rural areas, and that's wouldn't be the big deal, because we could have stopped and for 10 minutes and got 20 miles of range and had no problem. So that's part of it. The other part of it is it's a flip side with your mind. You can't. I'm not looking at the time when we get home. I'm not going to care about the time. I'm caring about miles till we get home. So it's a flip to the mindset. You can't make those road trips like we talked about fast and just get home. You have to make a little bit of adjustments, but we do have enough to get home. So I'm getting up 65 miles an hour. We were up to 1.9 miles per kilowatt hour, when that's really important. That shows you how much energy you're using per mile. And so driving into the wind, obviously that number's going to go down. Driving faster, the number's going to go down. So I drove a little slower to kind of mitigate that. But like I've said at other times in different videos, we're at the Model T era of EVs. We're going to get a bunch more superchargers in the next 5 to 10 years. And then some of this range anxiety like we're experiencing will go down over time on just normal driving. Yes, you can argue towing, argue hauling, all that kind of stuff. But just normal driving for us, driving to Denver and back, we definitely need at least one more supercharger, maybe even 2, depending what happens. Like right now, winter's blowing in. So this would not be a vehicle I'd feel comfortable with taking to Denver with winter blowing in at this time.
No.
Down the road, yeah, down the road we'll get battery technology, get faster, that kind of stuff. But to me, this is a big ask for people like us. They're asking us to really change our mindset, asking us to change our driving, asking us to change, how we're planning stuff out. We have to plan better. We have to plan a lot better.
Asking us to trust the car more than we normally would.
Yeah, asking us to trust the car more than normally would. Asking us to understand that we may not be able to tow as much or tow as far as we normally are. We have to make a little change there. So it's interesting. Again, I don't know that this is ready for the mainstream, and looking at the comments and talking to people all week long, there's so much misinformation out there that it's not ready for mainstream to a degree. I think it does work for a variety of people if you have that lifestyle that makes sense. And so yeah, I'm gonna push a little bit. I just got the driving range low indicator, which means I have now 14 miles difference because I dropped down to 1.7 miles per kilowatt hour. So now I can always dial this back a little bit, drive 55 for a while. We're gonna get in town here in a minute and drive 30 and 40 miles through town, so we should be fine with that. But you have to trust. It's a whole different experience. I think the idea that this is going to replace a gas F-150 is kind of not ridiculous, in that this is not meant to replace a gas F-150. This is just meant to be another alternative source of power, alternative choice, and that's how I see it. I don't see this as a direct replacement to the F-150 gas. I see it as a different lifestyle vehicle they can use in different ways. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna monitor our energy usage, and maybe we're gonna get inside and grab a little alcohol and calm down, because I'm a little bit antsy today. I don't like this last piece of this. It says we're supposed to be there, but this to me is the real range anxiety. What do? We have to call a tow truck if we end up running out of juice. That's our choices. That we don't have any other choices.
It's not like we have a spare battery in the trunk.
Yeah, you don't have a spare battery in the trunk. You can't bring battery, and you know you can't bring a generator and charge these things. People always make jokes about generators. In our experience, when we've been charging this, we're gonna run a generator for an hour to get 2 miles of range. So that's not a choice either. It's just it's a funny joke, but it doesn't make any sense. So in our case, it's home or bust. And so either I can drive faster and use more energy and get home a little bit quicker, or I can dial it back a little bit more and make sure we make it home with enough range. It's the two choices. All right, you got more choices though. Check the videos over here, website down below as well, pickuptrucktalk.com. As always, thanks for watching. We will see you down the road. Hopefully, when we get home. Sell the horses, let's go!